The disclosure process is usually important to accounting standards. Now, I'm curious, how important is it for revenue recognition?
It's always been important, but as we move into this new standard, it's much more important than ever. We're going to need to use so many judgments in recognizing the timing and amount of revenue. And it's certain that our auditors and other interested parties are going to be calling those judgments into account. So the standard setters on both sides of the pond have anticipated this, and they're saying you really need to explain what you were thinking when you came up with these decisions on the amount of revenue you're recognizing this period. So you got to talk about significant assumptions with respect to the timing and amount of your revenue. You've got to provide a certain level of granularity on significant customer contracts. So you need to actually look at a representative batch of contracts and disclose out of them that this is what we typically do in the normal course of our business, and this is the amount of revenue we feel justified in recognizing at this point in time. So if we're Oracle, we believe that we've certainly sold significant product that will allow us to take 2/3 of our revenue right up front, but we have other obligations that are going to defer revenue over time. Along the fact that you're going to be deferring some of that revenue, the disclosures need to address that uncertainty. The fact that economic factors could wind up changing things. You could have customers leaving on you. You could have customers defaulting on you. You could have something go wrong with the contract that's going to allow your initial assumptions to have to be revisited significantly. So you need to talk about that uncertainty. Uncertainty also with respect to payment. Payment terms, both sets of regulators are becoming much more outspoken with respect to saying up front if you don't think you're going to get a full collectability on your receivables. So you need to spell that out just as well. And then what are your obligations with respect to refunds, returns, defects? This all needs to be spelled out because you need to explain why you've got a certain level of revenue, and if your revenue is subject to a certain level of downside in the future, you better be either taking that downside up front or explaining why you don't think it's necessary.